We have hit halfway in the SSL minor league season. Some teams have already made a claim for the top spot, others are trying to gain ground lower down the table. Hello, everyone. I'm Metafiction, and we've got some very interesting matchups for you today as we prepare to go round the horn one more time. Capstad will host Montreal in our opening match, then we'll see Cairo host Paris, Seoul hosting the league leaders London, and Athens at home against North Shore. Starting off with that Capstad Montreal United match. There you see Capstad in the classic 4-2-3-1. And Montreal going for an even more classic 4-4-2 formation. They've been on a bit of a skid, Montreal, so hopefully they can find some traction of any sort against Capstad. And there you see Montreal kicking us off, going from left to right in the white, Capstad in the green, right to left. Montreal, of course, currently last in the minor division, as we saw there at the top of the match. Wartooth, Borat. Well, clicked up to Taco Cat, but Hall is there to mop it up for Capstad. And now Capstad coming away. Here's Martinez. And Smallwood. Through ball was trying to find Dieter, but it falls back to Smallwood, who puts it in from distance. And within 8 minutes, Capstad have taken the lead here against Montreal. Capstad 1, Montreal 0. Imbrimovic tried to pass it through there was a bit of a bobble there in the box. The rebound fell to Smallwood, who placed it perfectly past the keeper. And that is some heads-up thinking there by Fletcher Smallwood. Puts Capstad up with the first goal of the game. Now Inclon finds the player on the flank, Didi Yoker. Crosses in. Lachlan Martinez puts it in the back of the net. It is 2-0 to Capstad in very short order. Very good move by Inclon to switch out to Yoker on the flank, who dribbles in. Martinez in a lot of space. Martinez has already made a very significant impact on this Capstad team. It falls to Montreal to try and do something to win this ball back, and they have done. And here comes O'Rourke. Finds Normus. Drilling down the flank, looking for a pass, finds it. And it looked like that was Calavera who put it over the bar. Montreal lose out possession to Smallwood. Back into Martinez. Dieter. Finds Yoker. Back to Smallwood. And it's saved and pushed over the bar by Rage. Dieter to take the corner. Ball goes in and is headed clear. And it's another corner for Capstad at the 30-minute mark. Dieter, ball in. Found the head of a Capstad player, but it was pushed behind again by Rage. Now Dieter to take from the other side. Floats it in. Looked like it was headed for Imbrimovic, but it was Imbrimovic was out-headed. And the ball falls back across the halfway line. Now Capstad building from the back here. Yamavinga to Yoker. Now with some quick passing, it's found Smallwood, but Smallwood nicked by Normus, although Capstad do have the ball back again and are still pressuring. There's Dieter on the far side. Ball into Hall. Inclon. Martinez And that was almost a second goal for Martinez on the day. Rage just gets down to parry it free. It is a corner, though. The ball comes in and is headed clear once again, although Smallwood does get onto the end. Passes into Levere. And Klon. Some very good pressure throughout this game by Kapstad, and here's more of it. Doug tried to blip the ball into the box, but once again headed clear by the Montreal defenders. It has been mostly Kapstad in the ascendancy. Montreal struggling to get the ball, at least as far as we've seen, as Joker comes up the near side. Passes past Jeremiah. Normus does win the ball off Smallwood. Wang to Taco Cat. Wartooth sends it long. Finds O'Sullivan. Sullivan squares to Lachlan O'Rourke. And that is one back for Montreal. An intelligent long ball from Toki Wartooth found the run of O'Sullivan and squared it to O'Rourke, who was right in front of the goal. And it is 2-1 Kapstad over Montreal. Montreal might have found a way back into this. And now Kapstad building from the back. There is Dieter again. So important to a lot of what Kapstad do. And he fires this time, but straight at Rage. As we approach halftime. And it looks like we will go into... Well, we almost went into halftime with the score as it is. But here is Jeremiah from Montreal with the corner. It's a low cross. The header off the post. And that was almost a last-gasp equalizer for Montreal. But instead, we go into the half 2-1. Kapstad leading Montreal. Montreal scoring with their only shot on target thus far. There you see in the possession column, Kapstad with 58% of the possession to Montreal's 42%. Simply, that almost doesn't reflect how much Kapstad have dominated the game thus far, but nevertheless, it is still only a one-goal game, thanks to that finish by Lachlan O'Rourke. And I say it every time, but anything can happen in the SSL, so this match is far from over. And Kapstad getting us kicked off again, going left to right. And immediately it's a corner for Kapstad. Dieter to take. Floats the ball in. Finds the mask, but it doesn't really... Although Smallwood tries to chip the ball in to find a header, but doesn't quite come off. A very long shot there. I believe that was Doug who took that shot. It was parried away by Rage. Now Dieter with the corner again. Smallwood. There's a 1-2 with Levere. Dieter with another corner. And once again, we've seen a lot of success from corners here in the SSL this season. Dieter sends it in. Unfortunately, it won't happen this time for them, as Montreal might be on the break. No. As soon as I say that, Normus dispossessed by Camavinga. Now Joker on the far side. Challenged by O'Sullivan. Dieter. Back to Doug. Now Dieter again. Looking for a pass. Finds it. Imbrimovic. A brilliant shot, even from close range. And very well done by Dieter to find Ibrahimovic there from essentially the penalty spot. Chips it past the keeper. It is Kapstad 3, Montreal 1, early in the second half. The Kapstad have been very good value for this lead thus far, by my reckoning. And here they come again, potentially, although Dieter's first touch is somewhat lacking there, let's be honest. O'Sullivan potentially from Montreal. It was a tight angle, but he fired right at the Kapstad keeper there. It is a corner. Jeremiah to take for Montreal. Finds Wang on the edge of the box, has a go, but it's well over the bar. Montreal with another corner now. Montreal starting to dial up the pressure. It's Wang off the head of, I believe that was Wartooth, but it went off the post. And that plus the miss at the very end of the first half, it is very close to being a tie game right now. As we approach 15 minutes remaining, Kapstad with a commanding 2-goal lead. Although Montreal have shown more fire in this second half, they might still be able to nick something from this match if Kapstad aren't careful. And certainly Montreal would need it with the sort of season they've been having, especially the run they've been having. Although Kapstad now come forward, Smallwood chips it over to Ibrahimovic from a tight angle, and it misses at the far post. When you're firing at such a tight angle, it's very difficult to get that right. Taco Cat for Montreal. And Bismarck tips the shot over. It's another corner for Montreal. It is Wang to take. Low cross, and it's headed just over the bar. Time running out for Montreal. It looks like another defeat as Kapstad take the free kick with less than 5 minutes remaining. Hall brings the ball forward. Finds Dieter with the pass. Back to Doug. Now Joker on the far side, but it's sent clear. Doug does reclaim with the help of the Bear. Now Hall. Kapstad passing it in among their back line. Jeremiah intercepts the pass, passes to Wang, finds O'Rourke. O'Rourke fires past the keeper. And just like that, Montreal have a late lifeline here. The pass to Joker just was not good enough. Jeremiah found Wang, who quickly sent the ball upfield for O'Rourke. O'Rourke fired over Von Bismarck. And it is game on still in these last few minutes. Joker with the throw-in. They're passing it around. Ibrahimovic, who seems to have picked up a knock. I'm sorry, that's not Ibrahimovic. That was another player. Apologies. But it is Kapstad with the corner. Dieter to take. Martinez. And it's headed clear. And now O'Sullivan trying to bring the ball forward for another counter, but is dispossessed there by Hall. Kapstad coming forward again. 3 minutes of stoppage time on the clock. The ball in Ibrahimovic. The cross fell right onto Ibrahimovic's foot, but he fired well over the bar. Goal kick falls with Camavinga. And Joker now brings it up the far sideline. Almost dispossessed by Carrera, but they've kept it. And it looks like they're going to go to VAR to see whether this is a penalty. Smallwood, the one who picked up the knock, seemed to have been fouled in the box, but no. The VAR has decided no penalty, although Willie Normus is booked for that challenge, but the challenge seems to have happened just outside the box, is the decision. So Doug with a very dangerous free kick here for Kapstad. And it just doesn't go in. It found a friendly head, but it went over the bar. But time has seemingly run out now. Kapstad with one more chance. Doug fires over the bar, misses, and that will be that. Montreal showing great fight back there in the second half, but ultimately it wasn't to be as Kapstad win this encounter 3-2. You see there in the possession again, 61% to 39%. Kapstad with the majority of the ball. Montreal just never really had much of a chance to get on the end of the ball and do anything. A very complete performance here by Kapstad, and that will see them claim the 3 points. Nevertheless, Lachlan O'Rourke does get credit for man of the match with their brace. So that is that. Kapstad 3, Montreal 2. Montreal's skid seems to continue. Kapstad still making a run for that top spot in the minor division. Next up, we'll see another challenger for the top spot, Cairo City, as they take on AS Paris. And here we see Cairo with their asymmetrical 4-4-2 with Ibrahimovic playing that slightly advanced position, and Paris with their wide 4-3-3, or widens and then narrows, I suppose. And there you see Cairo level on points with Inter London. A result here, plus London dropping points in their match later, could see them take the top spot by the end of the day. It is Cairo who kick us off right to left in the yellow and brown. Ness. Now Pleasureman. Finds Greer. Greer fires from the edge of the box, but it's saved by Barflett. And it's perhaps a statement of intent by Cairo today, attacking immediately from the first move. Hamza now for Paris, cuts past Motor, fires from the edge of the box, but it's well wide. El-Arak takes the goal kick for Cairo. Rupp. Back to the keeper. And trying again on the far flank with Ness. Pleasureman now. Motor. Passes through to Okocha, but it's not quite good enough. And now Wilk coming forward for Paris. Cruz to Hamza. Sides. But the pass not quite on target. Greer now to Cairo. Passes up the line to Ibrahimovic. Ball in. Motor to Greer. Squares it. JJ Okocha puts it away. And a very quick goal by Cairo here. Ibrahimovic bringing up the left flank. Passes into Motor. Greer dribbles it to the end line. Squares it for Okocha, who is right in front of the goal. Simply could not miss from that distance. And it is Cairo 1, AS Paris 0. And then almost another high percentage shot there for Okocha, but Barflett does claim it just in time. Cairo coming forward again. Ibrahimovic to Hayden. Hayden trying to go right into that far top corner, but gets it wrong and sends it well over the bar. Greer now. Hayden, back to Greer. Trying to find space. And it's passed back by Bierman. Greer now up the near flank. Challenged by Genkal. Finds another player. Fell to Motor off the post. Motor again. Chips it in. Tried to find Ibrahimovic, but couldn't keep the header down. Cairo very much in the ascendancy here. Laurent. To Rupp. Greer. Forward to Hayden. Squares to Okocha, who puts it in the net again. Okocha doing a very good job to time their runs, putting themselves in the best possible position. Was challenged there by Zanetti, but still managed to put the ball on target, and that is 2-0 to Cairo. Greer now with another throw for Cairo. Ibrahimovic tried to square it for Okocha for the hat trick. It was saved clear, although Ibrahimovic has the ball in the box, and it takes a deflection, but it does go in. Let's see that again. Wilt clears. Ball falls to Motor. Ibrahimovic fires, and it seems to take the deflection off of Cinnamon there, who stuck her leg out to try and block it, but instead deflects it into the goal. They will give that as a goal for Ibrahimovic, though. Now the pass, intercepted by Papadopoulos, fires, but it's just wide and just over. Now a corner for Cairo. Greer will take. Sends the ball in, but it's headed well over the bar. Been a very strong performance for Cairo thus far. But Paris do nick that throw in off of Greer. Genkal tried to send the long ball to Papadopoulos, but it's not quite on target, although Paris do regain possession immediately. Genkal, but Ibrahimovic steals the ball. Okocha to Hayden. And now Greer, but fires straight at the keeper. And it's another deep throw-in for Cairo here past the 30-minute mark. Ibrahimovic. Hayden. And Ibrahimovic fires into the top corner. And just like that, it's 4-0. Either passed into Ibrahimovic, who passed to Hayden but was dispossessed. Ibrahimovic gets on the loose ball and absolutely drills it into the top corner. And it is Cairo City 4, Paris 0. And Ibrahimovic coming forward again. Fires right at the keeper. Greer to take the corner on the far corner. It does fall to Rupp. Passes to Motor. Back to Greer. And they are going to rule that Greer was offside, so Paris will take possession. Pleasureman. Ness. Pleasureman again. Fires. It was an ambitious effort, but off the post. And that will go out for a throw-in for Paris. Ness to Motor. Pleasureman tried to find Ibrahimovic, but the pass wasn't quite on target. And now Cruz coming forward for Paris, although Greer does mop up the first touch there. Now Greer in, well, it was in for Bierman, or Ibrahimovic, I apologize. Motor forward. Pleasureman. Bierman chips it forward. That's Ibrahimovic. Squares to Hayden. But will it stand? Referee is going to consult VAR. And the goal will not stand. It would appear. And yes, there you see confirmation. Ibrahimovic very far offside. And that goal will not stand. Harrow do have the corner now in stoppage time for the first half. Ball in, and it's headed over the bar. And that will be halftime. A very strong opening performance from Cairo City here. 4-0 in the span of 45 minutes. And that's compounded by those possession stats, 64% for Cairo compared to 36 for Paris. And an XG for Cairo of 3.76. A very impressive display thus far. But can they bring it home? Meanwhile, can Paris find a way to salvage anything from this match at this point? It's certainly not outside the realm of impossibility. I believe we've seen Paris do it before, if I'm not mistaken. And it will be Paris who kick us off, right to left in the blue. Passing forward, there is sides to Bohum, but Bohum can't bring it under control. It will be a throw for Paris, though. Ibrahimovic. Balls to Hayden. Inside to Ibrahimovic. Tried to square it, but wasn't the right pass. Motor back out to Ness. Ness crosses, but it's sent clear. And now Paris looking to potentially break, but it's snuffed out by Rupp. Ness now with the throw. Motor. Bierman. Ness. Pleasureman there on the edge of the box. Now Ness again. Tried to find Greer, appealing for the penalty, but none given. Motor chips it into Greer, fires, but it's right at the keeper again. And now Paris with the corner. It is Zanetti to take this one. Ball comes in, and it's claimed by Leroy. First really attacking motion we've seen in a while from Paris. As they do come forward again, Hamza now passes to sides. Inside to Papadopoulos. Cruz passed to Denkal, who fired, but they're ruled off for offside. Couldn't tell who it was who was offside, but that's why I'm not a referee. Hayden now into Bierman. Now Ness. Ness cuts inside, but Megamind sends it clear. That was nearly a 5-0 for Cairo, but Paris with some resolute defending there. Laurent. Ball makes its way up the pitch to Okocha, who's already scored 2. Now Motor. Motor fires from distance, but forces the save out of the keeper, Barflett. Greer will take the corner at the near side. It's headed up in the air. Rupp heads it down. Greer finds it on the edge of the box. And Greer being flagged for offsides. The ball will go the other way. It's another deep throw in for Cairo. Okocha back to Motor in a lot of space and fires and beats Barflett. Motor with an absolute cannon of a shot there. And it is Cairo City 5, AS Paris 0. Motor in all kinds of space just inside the edge of the box. Let loose with a shot, and it certainly paid off there. Cairo City, it should be said, have this one well in hand. But again, never discount the chances of, well, simply put, don't expect the unexpected. That's all I'll say. That said, Cairo coming forward. Leisure challenged by Hamza. Leisure squares. The shot came in at short range, but a very strong block by Cinnamon there. And now Paris coming forward. Wilk. Now Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos forced out wide. Ball comes in, falls to Hamza. Hamza fires just over the bar. That would have been a very impressive goal from the edge of the arc there, but ultimately it couldn't find its way on target. So we have 15 minutes remaining. Cairo with a 5-0 lead. Ibrahimovic to Hayden. Ball dispossessed, and Paris now pick it up. But once again, stopped by Cairo. Leisureman finds Hayden. Hayden forces the save out of Barflett, it looks like. And will be another Cairo corner. Ball falls back out to Greer. Has to be careful not to be caught offside again. Motor. That's into Rupp. And that will be the end of that highlight. Just over 10 minutes remaining now. Paris very rapidly running out of time to salvage a point from this. As Cairo win the ball again after another interception. It is Ibrahimovic bringing it forward. Passes to Greer. That's inside Ibrahimovic. Ibrahimovic fires. And an absolutely well-placed shot. And that is 6 for Cairo. Greer there dribbling up the far side. Pass inside to Ibrahimovic. It was a very tightly contested shot there. But nevertheless, I believe that is the hat trick for Ibrahimovic on the day. Now Greer finds his way to Ibrahimovic again. Motor. Now Ness, Motor again. Finds Okocha, who is in behind, fires, and that could be Okocha's hat trick if it stands. VAR is having a look at it, and they will chalk this one off as well. It looks like Okocha was just offside. There you see, just past the last defender there. It was a good finish, but ultimately will come to nothing. Now Paris. Again called. Pass sent long, but it is going to be looked at for a penalty. It looked like Cruz was brought down. And they do give the penalty to Paris. It is Papadopoulos to take for at least a consolation. And it's saved by Larac. Larac with excellent reflexes to save that penalty there. It was a well-placed one from Papadopoulos, but Larac was there in time to meet it. And there will be only 1 minute of stoppage time here. Kocha back. And Paris win the ball. And here is Sides. Crosses in. Tried to find Papadopoulos, it looked like, but wasn't able to. Ibrahimovic now. Bierman to Hayden. To the near side, Pleasureman. Okocha fires. And once again, it goes to VAR. And this time he gets to keep it. Okocha this time timing his run just well enough. And the finish very well placed. Contested by Cinnamon, of course, but manages to get it right where it needs to go. There you see the lines. It is a very close call. But Okocha getting his own hat trick. And that is Cairo City 7, AS Paris 0. And we are essentially under referee's orders at this point. Ness, Ibrahimovic. And there is the whistle. And that puts an end to a very strong performance from Cairo City. Simple, I'm not even sure what else there is to say. That is a very strong performance from Cairo. 7-0 over Paris. Paris showing flashes of brilliance, but simply overrun by Cairo today. JJ Okocha is player of the match. He recorded a hat trick, of course, along with Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Jersey Motor as well, getting the 7th goal. And AS Paris will have to go back to the drawing board after a result like that. And there you have it, 2 matches in. And Cairo City with a very strong statement in that win over AS Paris. Now they'll be turning their attention to this next match, Seoul Mythic versus Inter London. Inter London went into the day top of the minor league table on goal difference. Cairo, of course, will be hoping London will either draw or lose now, so that Cairo would take that top spot. And here we go then with that match. Seoul with the 4-3-3, deploying the DM. And Inter London with a 4-2-3-1. This match, of course, as I said, to keep Inter London's spot at the top of the table. Seoul, meanwhile, looking for momentum to mount a late title challenge of their own. It is Seoul who get us started, going left to right in the green. There's a free kick, but Lever gets ahead to it, and it will be a Seoul corner. Poggio to take, crosses in, and Kerrigan just gets fingertips to it. It's another corner for Seoul. Headed clear again. McGurk there to intercept, or disrupt the pass at least. Neuer on the ball for Seoul. Sends it long. And finds Paul, who was very clean in on goal, but couldn't get a finish off. It was a very intelligent move there by Neuer to find Paul, but Paul just not able to capitalize on it. Neuer sends it long again. Postman prevents it from reaching Paul again. Now McGurk. Back to Toastman. Pass intercepted there by Dalo. But London come forward again. Well, as soon as I say that, Seoul have won the ball back. Kamanova now, the #1 draft pick from this past prospect draft. Crosses in, finds Deali, who puts it in the back of the net. And on 11 minutes, Seoul have opened the scoring. It is Seoul 1, Inter London 0. You see Kamanova there, dribbling up the far side, finding Deali with a very well-placed low cross, and a strong finish from Deali. And Seoul have an early lead. There's another corner to Seoul. Poggio, Unshuanar on the edge. Deali went close, and it was saved again by Kerrigan. So another corner for Seoul as Poggio sends into the box this time. Balls to Fist. Deali with another shot that's deflected back out. Poggio to Ramos. Passes back to Kamanova. Deali, and it looks like Deali was caught offside, but that shot was well over the bar anyway. Ball finds its way back to Deali. But London win the ball off Deali. Now coming forward again. Dives in a lot, finds Williams. Passes for Levere. Tried to cross in, but was blocked by Fist. Hakkinen now fires from distance. It had the curve on it to go on target, but Neuer there to claim it. A very precise shot from Hakkinen, but it just was not to be there. Now Vins with the free kick for Seoul, and it's scooped up by Kerrigan. Kerrigan has sent it long, trying to find Jerry there up front, but nothing doing. And now Kennedy for Seoul. Vin's pass briefly intercepted there by Hakkinen, but they do come forward again, do Seoul. Up the other flank, it's Kamanova to Paul. Chouinard, where's Poggio? But Poggio cannot get it on target. It's well over the bar, and that will be a goal kick for London. Some very near misses in this match. So cutting out another pass. Poggio. Kennedy mishandles it and dives in a lot, sends it back to Kerrigan, who now boots it up the pitch. Falls to Paul. Finds Kennedy again. Now Paul. Challenged by McGurk, but Paul does retain possession. Ball comes in, but it's sent clear by Kimoatu. And now London potentially on the break. Here's Jerry. He is all alone. He needs help and can't get it. But McGurk does get the ball at the edge of the box and fired over the bar. Now Jerry with a corner for London. Found Hakkinen at the edge of the box. Here's Williams dribbling in close. Deflected behind by Poggio, and it's another corner kick. Nunez to take this one. Headed up into the air and away by Dalo. Jerry scoops up. Now Toastman. Back to McGurk. London probing for a weakness in that Seoul defense. For the moment, not finding any. Williams cuts outside. Crossed by Poggio. Cross in. It looked like Berbatov had it on target. Pushed behind again by Neuer. And it's another London corner. Cross comes in, and it's over the bar by Dad Zinala. And the pressure will be relieved from Seoul. Now a very dangerous free kick by Paul, but Kerrigan there to hold it. Right there on the edge of the box. That could have been a very dangerous spot for a direct free kick to go in, but Kerrigan there to hold on to it. And we will go into the half 1-0, Seoul leading London. Certainly no lack of chances by both teams, but only one goal has found its way in, and that Deali off of that low cross from Kamanova in the first half. Still very much all to play for here in the second half. And here we go then with the second half. It is London kicking us off left to right in the white and blue. Berbatov. And they found Levert instantly. And right from the kickoff, London have equalized through Jeffrey Levert. Well, how's that for an instant response? Berbatov dribbled it up the wing here. Found Nunez, who moved it on to Levert. And Levert puts it right on target. Well, whatever the manager said at halftime, it seems to have done the trick, if that's any indication. Vins, now Poggio, finds Vins, and it looked like, and they're going to the monitor, it looks like for a penalty. It all happened very fast, I apologize. This could be a penalty to Seoul, depending on what the referee decides here. And no penalty is given. That could have very easily been a turning point here. Now Paul with the free kick skims the top of the bar. We are now at 30 minutes remaining and the score is tied at 1-1. Remember, London going into the day was top of the table, but would need at least a win at this point to maintain, would need a win at this point to maintain that position. Now Nunez, McGurk fires from distance, but it's well wide. Both teams finding a plethora of chances, but can't seem to put any of them on target. We have about 10 minutes remaining here, and it's London who do come forward. Nunez finds Hakkinen. Pass through to Levert, but it's tipped over by Neuer. It will be a London corner. Jerry sends it in, but it's headed clear. Hakkinen, but intercepted by Paul. Poggio now with a corner for Seoul. Sends it in and headed clear. And it looks like VAR, we're going to see VAR again. It looks like another penalty shout for Seoul. They had a penalty shout earlier in this half, but it was not given after VAR. Will this be any different? This would be such a decisive moment. And this time it is given. Deali will take the penalty. Kerrigan trying to distract. And saves. Kerrigan getting down at exactly the right moment to block Deali's penalty. And forces another corner for Seoul. How about that? Now Schuenar for Seoul. Back to Poggio, and it's sent clear by McGurk. Now Poggio again. Crosses in, headed, and Leaf Fist puts Seoul ahead in the very late stages. Well, after the two penalty shouts, the one that wasn't given and the one that was saved, Fist finally putting that winner on the board potentially for Seoul, or at least the go-ahead. Now London needing to score 2 goals in order to maintain their status as top of the table. There is Williams. Cross doesn't quite find its target, and it's back with Seoul. Schuenar to Paul. Paul dribbles past 2 defenders, and Toastman concedes the corner. Poggio again to take. Fires in. Headed down and in by Fist again. Well, you can hardly say that Fist has not made a difference today. Scoring the second and third for Seoul, single-handedly putting this game potentially out of reach for Inter London. 2 very strong goals there, and they couldn't have come at a better time for Seoul. Kimoatu for London, but pass for Jerry was intercepted. Now Deali for Seoul. Ramos. Schuenar finds Deali, and Deali puts one in the back of the net. And a 4-1 scoreline will be harsh on Inter London. But Seoul coming alive in these last few minutes with 3 very clutch goals. Deali there, having the beating of Dagzinalot and Toastman. Puts the ball past the keeper. And now Paul. Deali almost had a 5th there. And that is it. The whistle has gone. A very exciting match all told. Multiple interventions by VAR. And of course, that burst of activity right there at the end. 2 goals from Leaf Fist. And a second goal for Bailey Deali, who will take home player of the match for that performance. Very strong showing for Seoul, hanging in tough and pulling away right there at the end. Inter London, as I said, a 4-1 loss does not reflect the level they played. It was a very strong performance from London as well. They simply couldn't get their chances on target, it would seem. And so with that, London losing 4-1 to Seoul, and surely no longer top of the table. Now we move on to our final match of the match day, that being Athenai versus North Shore. North Shore, of course, the reigning champion from last season, formerly known as Red Star Laos, has been a little more up and down this season. They've been very dominant in some games, but less so in others. So it will be very interesting to see how they perform today. The question, as ever, of course, is which North Shore will we get? Meanwhile, for Athenai, it is a 5-2-3 formation. And North Shore with that, well, I guess the best way to call it would be an asymmetrical 4-2-3-1. I've never really known how to describe that formation. It's certainly unique, and we've seen some very unique tactics here in the SSL. That one is up there, though. North Shore will kick us off left to right in the black. Representing New Zealand, of course, the famous All Blacks rugby team. Del Pirlo. Out to the wing. Back for Knezovic. And it was a very strong shot from Snooks, but it went over the bar. Snooks now with the corner. And it's headed in, but it's just over the bar. Now another corner, this one taken by Lopta. It would seem North Shore have taken the initiative here, but this one is cleared, and now Jean-Claude Goddam passes into Lopta. And Lopta is ruled offside, so it looked like the ball was in the back of the net, but it will not count. Snooks to Goddam. Goddam fires, but it's deflected out. Ball comes back in, but nothing doing for North Shore there. Now Athenai. And now a very nice passing sequence, but broken up by North Shore. Lopta. Now Del Pirlo. And Tato fires past the keeper, but was he offside? VAR is having a look at this. And it will not stand. Tato was indeed offside at the time of the shot. And there we see a couple of feet ahead of that last defender there. And so that will not stand, although North Shore do have another corner. That comes in. Athenai defending it with their heads. Lopta passed it back to Knezovic, but the shot was wild and wayward. Duke now passes it forward for Athenai. Siege of Katarina. Desormeaux on the far wing. Panda crosses in, and it fell to Labovic, but the ball was deflected behind for a corner. It will be Desormeaux to take. And Tato heads clear. Now Del Pirlo potentially trying to break here, but nothing doing. And K. Clements has pulled up injured for North Shore. That would be a huge loss, a very talented player. And it will be the North Shore super sub to come on in place of Clements there. A devastating loss for North Shore. Super sub will take the corner now. And it was headed on target, but Duke forced to make a save. Another corner for North Shore. And Labovic heads it clear, although the super sub does regain possession. Now Norris. Scarpetta. Back out to Snooks. And it will be a corner conceded by Pelletier on the block. Super sub again to take the corner. Sends it in, and the headed just outside the post. Now of Katarina bringing it forward for Athenai. Finds Desormeaux. North Shore forcing Athenai back. Not really allowing any vertical passes here. Although they do find one. Now Desormeaux on the far wing. Panda back to Desormeaux. Crosses in. And Hinata Hyuga has headed it in. Almost out of nowhere, Athenai have the first goal of the match. Desormeaux played the 1-2 with Panda, then shipped it into Hyuga with a very good header, it has to be said. And it is Athenai 1, North Shore 0. Athenai coming forward again. Desormeaux again on the far wing. Looked like it was dispossessed. Norris dispossessed Costanza, winning the ball. Now it's passed forward to Del Pirlo. Super sub. The goddamn who fires well over the bar. And they're past the 30-minute mark, and well, certainly I don't know. This seems like a bit of an unexpected turn. Although North Shore in, Del Pirlo fires from close range, but once again going to VAR, and he seemed to be offside, but VAR will decide. And indeed, once again, the goal will not stand. Tato fired to Lopta. Del Pirlo just barely offside. And another goal disallowed for North Shore. Knezovic. For De Lopta, who fires over the bar and was offside regardless. Now North Shore passing it among the defense. Here's Norris. To Scarpetta. Now forward to Knezovic. Finds Lopta. Now Del Pirlo through the middle. And found the super sub, who puts it in the back of the net. Super sub living up to their name, and this time it will count for North Shore. Lopta there with the pass to Del Pirlo. Cut inside. And it has to be said, it took a substantial deflection, but nevertheless, they all count the same. It is Athenai 1, North Shore 1. Athenai coming forward off the kickoff, though, but Costanza there to cut out the move. Brickwell Jr. sends it back to Costanza. Now Lopta. Scarpetta. Goddamn bringing it through the middle. Quick pass from Del Pirlo to Tato, and Tato buries it in the bottom corner. But once again, we're going to VAR. And this time, VAR does allow the goal to stand. There's a very quick passing move here. Del Pirlo through to Tato, who fired deftly into the bottom corner there. And we'll see what the VAR was about. And there it is. Tato timing the run brilliantly. And North Shore take the lead here in the first half as time ticks down. Now North Shore coming forward again. Desormeaux, though, winning it off of Lopta, but Lopta takes it right back. Lopta again. Del Pirlo. Knezovic back to Del Pirlo. Now there is Snooks here on the near wing. Super sub into Knezovic. Jean-Claude Goddamn. Back out to Snooks. Snooks fired it right at the super sub, and now Athenai coming forward. Time ticks down in the first half. Lopta with a free kick opportunity. It hit the upright for North Shore. Del Pirlo firing from distance and blocked again. Some very late chances here in the first half for North Shore. And here they come again. It's Tato to the super sub. Now passing it back and forth among the defense. A very nearly run thing. Lavovich nearly winning the ball off of Snooks there, but it is Knezovic who comes forward. Passes in, and it falls to Del Pirlo, who puts it in the back of the net. And after a slow start, North Shore have stamped their authority on this first half. Knezovic, it went to the super sub. It was intended for the super stub, but couldn't get on the end of it. Del Pirlo gets to it, and first time fires into the net. It is Athenai 1, North Shore 3. Now Athenai, Desormeaux coming forward, trying to get something before the end of the half. Panda fires, Norris with the block, and it is an Athenai corner late in this first half. Desormeaux to take. Crosses in. It looked like it got on friendly head, but it's sent wide. Falls back to Athenai players, but ultimately Brickwall Jr. will claim. But Brickwall Jr. has come off with an injury. It is Dalton Canders who will take his position in the sticks, but that is a potentially massive blow for North Shore going into the half. North Shore do lead 3-1 against Athenai after a very strong performance, albeit a slow start, but with the backup goalkeeper, will that make a difference on this match? Of course, Dalton Canders no slouch either, certainly. Was actually the U.S. goalkeeper for the entirety of the World Simulation Football Classic, in the absence of Kerrigan, who was keeping for Africa at the time. But nevertheless, losing your first choice goalkeeper is never a good sign. That said, North Shore do have the 3-1 advantage. Will Athenai be able to capitalize, or can North Shore compensate for losing their starting keeper? It is a corner to North Shore to start us off in the second half. Well, headed clear by Desormeaux there. The Lopta does get onto the end of it. Super sub passes into Tato. Sends it back out. Scarpetta. And again, Snooks couldn't quite get that under control, and it will be a goal kick. Here's Lopta again. Now Norris. Back forward. Finds Tato. Back to the super sub. Some quick passing from North Shore, and the shot is ultimately carried behind. Super sub to take the corner. And it looked like Tato got ahead to it, but wasn't able to get it on target there. Lavovich now for Athenai. Pelletier. Back to Lois. Now one off of Athenai by North Shore. Although Athenai do claim it again, only for a moment. Costanza now for North Shore. Forward to Lopta, playing the 1-2. Knezovic. Forward to Del Pirlo. Tato fires from distance, but it was right at the Athenai keeper, Duke. North Shore defense passing it again. Lopta and Costanza. Back to Norris. The very patient build-up of North Shore here. Costanza. Forward to Lopta. Finds Del Pirlo. And it looked like Jean-Claude Goddamn had the shot there, but it was held by Duke in goal. With 20 minutes to go, Athenai, after having the early lead, now find themselves in quite a hole here. They're running out of time to equalize and steal a point from what was looking like a very surprising win. But it is North Shore in the ascendancy. Scarpetta. Goddamn. Found Del Pirlo, but shot was right at the keeper. Duke now sends it long for Athenai. But it's one off of them by North Shore. But again, Athenai getting the ball right back. Now here is Pelletier. Leroy. It might be Leroy, I'll be honest, but I've been calling him Leroy. Now North Shore come forward as we approach 5 minutes remaining. There's Snokes on the far side. Into Goddamn. The super sub. Back to Snooks. Del Pirlo. 1-2 with Lopta to Tato. And Tato has put the ball in the back of the net once again. And that will surely ice it if it wasn't already. That is Athenai 1, North Shore 4. Off of a very good move here. Del Pirlo passed it into Lopta, who sent it first time to Tato, who was in plenty of space to finish that very good chance. Now Athenai with a late corner here. It was headed over the bar. Well, it looked like it. It looks like Snooks deflected it behind, and it will be another Athenai corner. Desormeaux to take. Finds Hyuga on the edge of the box, fires from distance, and it came off of Pat Tato, so it will be another Athenai corner. Desormeaux, low cross, finds Tato first time. Hyuga. Ball fell to Bourne, but couldn't get the shot on target. With time winding down, it looks like North Shore will come out of here with the very strong performance and the victory. Less than a minute and a half left as Athenai come forward. Pelletier tried to find Labovich, but wasn't able to get past Snooks, who does have the ball now. Into Canders, who hasn't had a ton to do in this second half, despite being the substitute. Costanza forward to Del Pirlo via Lopta. Del Pirlo finds Goddamn, but dispossessed. Now it's siege for Athenai. Forward to Bourne. The pass was cut out and won by North Shore, and now Knezovic. And that is the final whistle. Athenai scored first off of the header from Renato Hyuga. But after that, North Shore took the game by the scruff of the neck. First, despite the injury problems, requiring the introduction of Super Sub and then Dalton Canders, North Shore still managed to equalize off of the Super Sub's goal, and then proceeded to take control of the game in dominant fashion. And it will end Athenai 1, North Shore 4. And it is Alessandro Del Pirlo who takes player of the match honors with a goal and an assist to his name. And that is it for Matchday 8 from the SSL Minor League. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Metafiction, and we'll see you next time.